Hey, welcome back, everybody. Glad you could join me this evening. So, anyway, I got some more stuff done on the 72 CT70, and did a lot of cleaning up. Got a few parts in. We'll go through and see what I've done and what parts I got in. So, we'll talk about that and maybe do a few other things. But got a few things to discuss and maybe learn a few things on some Chinese aftermarket junk. But anyway, alright, well, appreciate those who watched the previous video before this one. This try to be the third segment of this engine and motorcycle. I have cleaned the entirety of the engine case, scrubbed it out, brake part cleaned it out, looking really nice and beautiful in there. Of course, that is the left hand side, passenger side if you want to call it. This is the right hand side. It's all spick and span. Don't know, I may change a few other things. I'm not for certain right now, but I got a lot done. I cleaned up, knocked off a lot of surface rust off the crank. Nice and good, keyway's good. I run that on my Scotch brake pad on my bench grinder and clean that up. So that looks good. Got the cylinder sandblasted, scraped out, blowed out, sandblasted, rinse and repeat, that's what I meant, many times. So all this is good and clean. I did take it home and clean the cylinder up. Looks good. Original piston. Not too bad, but I think that I thought, well, let me. I got some replacement pistons. Okay, I got them off eBay, like a 2-pack. Standard, the winning choice, or whatever, W. So when you get these in, you need to mark it for standard or for first stage, second, third, fourth, whatever. Sometimes I think they're every quarter of a millimeter. They size them like that. So anyway, so here's the piston that's in that box. And it's a direct match in every way that I can see. Somebody's duplicated it real good. Does have a little ding-a-ding right there, a ding-a-ding, and reliefs, and my arrow pointing down on the left-hand side, as it should be installed. Excuse me. The number 87 or 087 is there, and it's there too. So anyway, but I tried that. I just stuck it in there. I thought, well, maybe I just need to try see about a different piston. So I got some pistons coming from CHP, a first and a second stage, and we'll see how they fill it up. If I actually need to enlarge the cylinder anymore before I paint the cylinder. So we'll worry about that when those come in with maybe a day or two. Probably be in the next video, but I don't have it today. One thing I did, I really love these bolt kits. I think every one that I've gotten is from V-Rock's Vintage Parts. It's on eBay. They're around $18 to $20 a piece. They're cheaper if you buy multiples. You save $1 or something. I don't know. You gotta have, you know, because I'm going to restore this engine. It will be painted and done like new. I just, well, you know, even if I change my mind, which I guess I'm entitled to change my mind. If I want to get to the point, well, I am going to black the cylinder out, regardless. But whether I need to leave it as a rider condition, we'll see when I get to that point. If I want to go ahead and step up and do that. Of course, I got my bucket of parts. Anyway, let me run over here and grab something real quick. Oh, nice to know that. Okay, I'm having trouble with liking this. This is a Kickstarter from CHP. And if any of you dealt with that, the bolt that goes through the middle is too big. And it tears the damn threads up when you're driving it, you know, get it in there. You can get it in there instead of it being a number 6, instead of it, you know, being like this, a number 6 by 1 millimeter. I don't know. Let me lay these out. Which way? Okay, I got them clocked. Trying to do this by myself. CHP one's longer, so it has the condition of hitting your exhaust muffler. I mean, it's a nice, but it's not a direct replacement unless maybe help me find you guys out there watching and everything like that. Help me send me a link to the correct Kickstarter. Man, I'm just not happy with the replacements. I'll probably use this one until I find one, or maybe I can use this one. I don't know. That's up in the air. I got my gear set laying right there. Do not disturb sign should be on that. So everything on that's cool. I don't have a problem with it. Okay, here's one thing right here. Now, this was the flywheel cover, and I did put a help me out there on the CT70 for them, because what I kind of hear through the grapevine is the maybe Z50s or silver tags, don't shoot me if I'm wrong, had a one-piece cover. The later ones that they came out with had the removable points cover, which I like those better. So anyway, plus it's got a busted tab. So I've got some coming in off of eBay, and we'll smell them with those when they come in and see how good they smell, and if we like them. Maybe we might use one. Golly, I just don't like, the Honda offers a new replacement with the one piece, and I don't like it, so I want the 2-piece original. So we're gonna stick with that. Trying to get a 2-piece on there. What else I need to talk about? Oh yeah, almost forgot. I did get a shipment of stuff from CHP. I got the clutch disc, friction plates, whatever you want to call it. And they are genuine, bona fide Honda. So if you order clutch disc from CHP, you're going to get Honda. I don't recollect that they had aftermarket. These are cheap enough, so whatever. So these two here, you have to have two of these, which hit the pause button if you want to get the Honda part number. Okay. Now this is the one that's got the star tabs on it. This is the center one. It's friction plated on both sides. Hit the pause button if you want to get that part number. Not going to read it. So anyway, because this one's double-sided, it goes in the center. Now these ones on the outer part, this will face the friction part. It's only frictioned on one side. So you're going to put these two away. The friction padded part is going to be away from this one. It's going to face away. So we may show that in more detail in a later video. So y'all guys keep your pants on, hold your horses. We'll get to that point. Previously working on the problem, one of my problems before, when I changed the cam chain and was trying to figure out if that was the problem making the noise, which was the intake, was an intake valve and exhaust valve port, blah 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 blah. I used my little battery powered impact and yeah, snapped one of them boogers off, and I was luckily able to get it out. So there's a Honda part number. Pause it if you need it. I got 3 of these bolts in for the camshaft sprocket. What else let me get? These you can't quite tell. Okay. They are the fuel line retainer or clamp thingy that goes on the left hand side of the bike to hold your fuel drain line when you drain the carburetor out for storage purposes. So CHP has those, or genuine Honda. Muffler, insulator clamp, one of the pieces. I needed one. It appears to be really bright, shiny, nickel plated, so I'm happy with that. It's not the first one I've got. These are fork seals for the 72. I don't know if they're the same as the 75, but they could be. But I haven't done a 72 forks. So I got one of these in as for a spare backup, because I had to accommodate one out of a 50, the engine that I got for parts. So this is a spare in case I run into that again. Let's see here. The 3 little green things, well, they look green in the camera, but they're the exhaust valve guide seals. They go onto the exhaust, not the intake, and the exhaust pipe seal. I just got one of the exhaust donut gaskets right there, just in case I didn't have one. Some of the engine kits, or most all of them, come with one that's copper. I guess like a copper tube or something like that that compresses. But this one is more like aluminum. It's got maybe like a glass packing or something in between, or heat resistant material, so it hangs on and lasts a long time. And this is like all your shaft seals, your shifter shaft, your kickstarter shaft, and your crankshaft, your stator kit. It does have the O-rings for the stator kit around the screw bolts. I don't know what that one's for. I don't know. I'll have to research that. It may not go to it. It may be a one size fits all kit, but it's packaged by step 2. numbers are kind of janky. Anyway, spent a few dollars with them just to get a few basic parts to get this motor installed, rebuild, kind of kick going and all that. So let's run over here and let's discuss something I've noticed. Not much of a selfie man. So, oh, my hand is hurting holding this camera. Anyway, okay. I thought, well, we discussed previously that maybe the oil pump was galled a little bit. It feels kind of smooth, but I have this Scotch-Brite. It's a deburring wheel. It's really condensed microfibers that will polish stuff up. So I think that I probably will just try to polish the outside edges, surface, because I'm going to explain why I'm going to use it. So what I did, I cleaned this one up. This is the original. I polished it, smoothed it out. For the most part, got rust and crud off of it. But here's your drive shaft from your gear that's powered by your camshaft. So notice which way it's the tip of the shaft is keyed to engage this little shaft. Excuse me, I wasn't even recording that, but you know what I'm saying. It's not. It mates up and matches that to drive that, like a distributor in an old car engine. So anyway, since this has got a D head on it and it fits in there and goes inside the engine case, there is a difference in this. This must be a Chinese knockoff Lifan SSR Panda crapola engine. Anyway, they listed on eBay for like $20. I thought, well, good deal. Let's, pig in a poke, let's chance it. So, nope, we ain't used it, and I'll explain why. Well, you'll say, well, the drive shaft's different. Yeah, it's different. It is, in that aspect, it's shorter. Maybe, I don't know, 5/32 of an inch, or how many millimeters. But I did put it in the case. This does work. It does screw into the gear. So, besides this being beefier than that, it should work, you'd think. But of course the ends are different. This one's slotted. This one is more like a flathead screwdriver. So you cannot interchange any of this. Maybe except the covers. Not even those, because the pump body, hell, is taller. I'll show you. Well, one thing, it's got this little nub that sticks out, and where the Honda doesn't. So, oh crap! Now you can see the difference, but that's not so much the problem, I don't guess. Now I had thought that one would maybe go up and hit the clutch pack or something, or get in the way of something, but read my lips. You can't see my lips anyway. But do not use this. Do not attempt to buy these. Every damn one of them on eBay is garbage. Do not even try to attempt to put them in your engine. Let me explain why. Not because of these. This spacer goes with the new aftermarket. This is your Honda spacer bushing or whatever. It goes inside the case. Now here's the difference. See that? Trying to do this. See how we got these pockets? Now, that right there, my friend, is the reason why you're not going to use this one. Take this one, beat the shit out of it with a hammer, destroy it. Do not ever tempt yourself to use it again. Throw it in the scrap pile. Next trash day, get rid of it. This right here is it's got a cavity, a pocket, and what it does, it overlaps the oil passage. This one right here does not. And I'm gonna have to get the case and I'll show you. So just hang on for a second. Let's go over here and get the engine case. And which one is it? It's this one. Nope. No, it's not that one. I don't know which one is that. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. Alright, here guys. Now, I'm going to put this one on there. I'm just going to set it on. Okay. You look at it and say, well, I can't tell much of a difference. You see that right there? That, you're going to get oil from here. This is your intake, your suction side of your pump. This is your discharge. Alright? Yeah, you're going to have oil floating around the bottom of the engine. But this is where the oil makes its way up into the top of the engine. The top end. So, it requires that you to have that cutout for that discharge of oil from the pump to make it to here. Now when I throw this one on there, it completely covers it up. So you want to burn an engine up, go through all this trouble of rebuilding your motor or whatever, and you think, well, it should be a bright idea to put a Chinese knockoff oil pump in there. Go slap yourself. Don't do it. I work enough in the hydraulic type of environment that I know some stuff to look out for. It's just not, it's not capable of doing any damn things, doing any good to your engine. Hell yeah, I mean, I get more, there's more volume. This one, the original, is going to allow more volume of oil to come in, and you're going to be able to discharge your oil through that. So I wouldn't use Chinese aftermarket if they paid me to use it or endorse it. I'm not going to endorse the Chinese junk. The hell with it. Of course, you see that aftermarket on the left, Honda on the right. So we're going to put Honda back in it. I've been trying to find a Honda pump. That's all I need right here. If anybody knows where I can just get these two that are Honda, or share with me what the Honda number is, or share with it everybody you know what the Honda part number is, I can go to Honda and get it. Let's do that. Let's share this information. So I'm going to take me a break real quick, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. I'm getting the lid out, but anyway, this thing right here is what I sent Mini Bike Mike. It is a valve spring compressor for small engines, motorcycles and such. And I've already got, a few days ago, I went ahead and recut the valve seat on the intake valve because it was pitted for obvious reasons. It's typical. But anyway, yes, it was running. So anyway, I went ahead and cut the seats. Got the depth all set in. Yes, my cutting head's not the best in the world. It's not the most expensive, but it did me a decent enough job. I lapped it. It's all said and done. It meets up correctly. I only use a 2-step cut. I don't use a 3-step. So I feel a 2-step. If you got this and it's hitting up against that, that's going to create a better seal, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Sit over and cringe your teeth together if you disagree, but just saying, I had a little auto mechanics in high school, and that's what my auto mechanics teacher brought to our attention, and I respected my auto mechanics teacher. So anyway, enough of that. So much of what you're going to do is put the valve in there, and you're going to place it in here. Of course, you got to put all this in here except for your retainers. Get all that in place, and you hold the valve assembly, and you're going to run this down. Okay. Now, you're going to run it down until it hits the cup, the retainer top or whatever it is. You guys know what I'm talking about. So, anyway, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to put the valve in, because it's the opposite way taking it out. So, you guys are smart enough. I'm not calling any of you stupid or anything like that, but one thing I'm going to do is, because when I put the valve in here, I'm going to leave it, and I need to get the valve, the guide seal, off the exhaust. So let me grab that replacement. I got to pull this cup off of here, make sure everything's clean, and get it ready to go back on. Well, I'll tell you what, while we're here having fun, let's see if I can't get it off without swearing too much. Something. Yeah. It came off there the other day. I need to bring a pair of needle noses. I'm still here, guys. Anyway, you don't want to crush this the top of that. I don't know if you can see down in there. Kind of just get a good enough hold on it. Don't try to romp down on it and egg shape it, but just get a nice grip on it to get it out. And of course, I've already cleaned all this. I did have it off, but I stuck it back on. I didn't want to lose it. So we're going to set the head right there, and we'll just go ahead and take this out. Just poke it out. And you're going to want to use some grease or something to kind of help go back together. Now you see, let me see. Well, the camera sucks. It's stepped, okay? The thinner, the larger OD goes to the valve guide, and this top part, which is smaller OD, goes to the exterior of the retainer cap for the seal. So it would just kind of go over it like that and push it to the top. Use a little grease to help it stick up in there and stay. So let's just go ahead and do it. Get it done. Let me just put that down there. Even though if the seal looks good like that, it's been in there for 50 years, since 1971. It's a 72 motorcycle. So the seal is hard. It's dry rotted. It's just, it has no sealing properties. So you're into it this far, change it. $1, $2, $3 at CHP. Well worth it. So let me get. Now I got me a hook pick. We're gonna take and we're gonna hook one of them suckers out of there. Okay. I need to probably zoom in. So hang on. There we go. Now we're more direct on the head and in the area. So y'all guys yell real loud if I get out of sight. So this is a newer quality or newer seal, probably better quality by any means, because you know, by 1970 standards, and today the technology and things are just better as far as seals. The seals technology today, yeah, is better, but sometimes the mechanical technology is not. That's just a matter of opinion. So I'm just gonna spackle the crap out of it. Just put me a nice good glob on it. I'm gonna take it, put it in there. Just put it in there and slide your finger off, just like I did. Now, if you got some pin punch kit or maybe a screwdriver, but let's see. This is what I'm talking about, a pin punch. It goes right down in there. Just, yeah, it comes right back out, and you push it right back in. Maybe grease is a bad idea, but I don't know. There we go. Okay, we've got that dude in there now. So what we got to do is put this over that, and that's no problem. And I'm going to sit back, and I'm going to get the needle noses. I got duckbill needle noses, which are pretty good. Get a little bit wider grip, and it works. So I want to slide that right over. Getting in y'all's way. But you take and just press it back down over the valve guide. That will seal the valve from leaking a little oil, causing puffs of smoke out your muffler. We hope. Anyway, so what we're gonna do now, here's one thing I did. I took an old Excedrin migraine headache empty pill bottle, ripped the label off of it, but I put all my springs on my top and my retainers in there, and I did both of them. And the spring tension is the same for exhaust or intake as far as I'm concerned, or that I know about. So mix and match as you please, and all that. So I've already took care of the valve. As far as the valve, lapping and all that, I just left it out. And we're just going to install this. I kind of, want y'all to see that what this tool is worth. It's worth every bit of $40, $45, $50, whatever you can find it on eBay. You can't go wrong. It makes this so much easier. And the one thing I said, I hope Mini Bike Mike up there is watching this so he can kind of see how easy it is. It's really gonna make this real smooth. I don't have to have parts flying everywhere and junk. So I did put my valve back in the bag and I'll bust it right out. So anyway, I'm gonna take a little bit of grease on that and put some in that where the retainers go. Just enough, maybe to hold the retainers when we drop them down. So I'm going to put this in there. Boom. There we go. Boom chakalaka. Uh-oh. Here's what we got to watch out for, and I'm glad it happened. So it probably happens to everybody else if they're doing this too, especially the exhaust valve. But it pushed the valve seal and retainer cap up when we did that. So we'll just take my needle noses down and grab a hold of it enough and push it back down gingerly, so make it all nice and smooth, or we don't rip the seal. Not like we're going to rip the seal because I don't have any sharp edges for the second, but well, getting carried away here. Anyway, gonna put the big spring, and we're gonna put a little dirt and grime in there too if you want to, but and the small spring goes in the middle. So get y'all positioned in the area where we need to be. So yes, I got to put the little round disc on top. So, yep. That's just grease, I guess. I guess that's just grease. There we go. We got this bottom adjustment all the way up, full tilt. And we're going to just take this, my handle, I lost my handle, so I used the screwdriver. And just run it down. Just, that's elementary, man. Learn that stuff back in pre-K. But I'm going to try to get y'all up here where y'all can look down in there. That the viewfinder maybe shows a good image of it. So, well, you can see what I'm doing. Got all kinds of mess around here. So, I'm not at all. There we go. Looky there. Looky, looky. We got that booger down in there. Now, this is where having a magnetized screwdriver comes in handy. And just kind of bring it in through an easy opening. Patience is key. Steadiness is a key. And anger management comes into play. So, anyway, screwdriver's got a little bit of magnet attraction, magnetism, magnetivity, whatever you want to call it. And because you already got one keeper in there, it makes it a little bit trickier to get it in. And you guys at home say, "Oh God, man, he doesn't know what the hell he's doing." You know, you're probably right, but I'm doing it. So you want to just get that in there, kind of doggone, sucker. May have to use my straight pick that I've had for 30 years. Just hold it. Alright, she's in there. Now I'm going to take this because I think it's a stainless steel tip and it doesn't have any magnetic attraction, which is probably a good idea to have it to some degree. Alright, so I'm going to back the thing out. Hopefully I don't knock y'all off. Up. There. Doggone. Scoot y'all back just a smidge. And just slowly back it out till you know it's got a good grip on it. And that's it. Another whack, hitting the camera. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's just baby doo-doo compared to some of the other things you could do. real easy. Of course, as you notice, the head looks a whole lot better. I scraped and scratched it and blasted it, and for the most part, it turned out really nice. I put it on my wire wheel on my grinder, bench grinder, and knocked a little bit of, put a little bit of sheen to it, smoothed it out, so it doesn't have much of a rough look when I go to paint it, or if I paint it, yada yada. But I probably will. I just don't see myself. I know it's got a little rough spots down here, but the key part is just around this combustion chamber and enough sealing power on the gasket to seal up some scratches and junk imperfections. But one thing I probably need to do is go down and get a thread hole tapper to tap the hole and make sure it's good and clean, or test fit it with a spark plug before I crank one down in there. Because of the sand and trash, that sandblasting that's so microscopic or whatever that you can't see, you don't want to gouge up your threads and run them, because all this work we just did today and previously is just wasted. So one thing I don't understand is this: why they casted the head like this. For whatever reason, it's a dirt and trash pit down in there for most part. It goes through, or you can kind of blast it out with an air hose, brake parts cleaner, sandblast, solvent of your choice. So we've got the head done. Next thing I'm probably going to do is I don't know. I'll probably do that on the next video. Just trying to show you something a little bit simple and easy during this process right now. I don't have things gathered up. You want to run a tap through all these holes, flush and blow them out with air and solvent. Run a tap in there to make sure all your holes are good. Here, spark plug thread tap. That's special stuff that you probably have to go get. Just make sure that anything that when you're rebuilding this stuff, because like I say, sandblasting and sand, a particle of sand can cock over the whole program. So anyway, enough rambling on about that, and I'll bring you back in just a second. Hey guys, hopefully you can see me enough. I'm gonna call it a wrap on this segment. I appreciate you joining in, and this is what I look like. You've probably already seen some of my other videos if you've gone back through. If you're gonna do videos, you gotta sometimes show your face. So here I am. Because right now it's I don't know, it might be about 10 o'clock on Monday night. 10th of February. Okay, yeah, this is 10th of February. So anyway, it's been raining, and it's probably about upper 30s and low 40s out there, and excuse me, I'm getting a little cold out here. I got that airborne heater behind me. The tank bottle ran out on it. I got one right there that is going fine. It's just a little bit to the point. The cold is getting me. It's not so much cold sometimes that gets me. It's when you add the wetness to it. It really talks to me, so I'll set things up better. Probably the next video, I think we'll just probably start reassembling the engine case, putting the parts back in until I get my new pistons from CHP. They should be here a day or two, maybe tomorrow. I don't know, but I got kind of a busy schedule tomorrow. Kind of do this in between my days off when time allows. For one thing, I'm not. That's like I said. I'm not going to paint the cylinder jug until I get the CHP pistons in. I figure out which one I need or could use, and then I'll either hone the cylinder out. Let me show you what I use. I get it down there at O'Reilly's. It's just an engine hone for big engines, and I can get it down far enough to where it goes down into the cylinder and does a fine job. That's how I've already done my previous two engines. You squeeze it down, and you're supposed to take this lock and unlock it so it goes to your, like 350 Chevy or whatever engine you're doing. But it works good. It's best if you have a 110 volt drill, unless you want to wear out some batteries or a battery powered drill. The duty cycles on some of those get you don't want to wear out your cordless stuff, so get a, you probably already know, just get you a good heavy duty 110 volt drill and use that. They do sell the replacement stones, so I've replaced them before because I wore them down, and these things don't last a whole lot, a really long time if you're going to be boring out. So you go down and get a kit, you just cut the rivets off, they're riveted in, you put the new kit in with the cotter pins folded over. I just fold it over on one side. Works great. Got no problem with it. There's not much of any machine shops around here that does small motors. I went to a place in Grand Prairie, Texas, and which the guy out there kind of deals in boats and stuff. I thought, well, maybe some of them boat cylinders are kind of small, some of your smaller engines and stuff. Anyway, I had to go to the store or something, come back for some other reason, and came back and he had it, and I think all he did was just take a hone like that and ran through my cylinder on my 100, my CB100 I had. So I paid him and went on about my business, but you're not going to find much of an engine shop around here or anywhere that you're probably at that can do such a small cylinder. And that's just cheap enough. I think it was like maybe $35, $40. It's definitely worth having. And you do satisfactory work with it. That it'll work. And so any note, I was going to ask if some of you in the group are watching the Trail 70 group. I probably need a few extra tires, rider quality. I mean, these are like new on here. They still got some of the tips on the rubber. I don't know how long they've been on there. May not have a lot of miles, but the bolts look rusty. So we'll deal with the wheel situation on this. But what I'm wanting is some rider quality wheels with really good to decent tread. Probably one that's got some little dry rot cracks to them that, you restored your bike and you took these tires off, you got them piled off in the corner because you didn't want to put old tires on a new restored bike. If anybody's got those out there, just maybe try to, contact me through the group through Facebook, Honda CT70 enthusiast. So look me up, send me a message through that if you're watching me through that. I am not in a dire need, but I got some. I got four other CT70s that are rollers, but their tires are junk. And I could get me some new tubes from Trail Buddy. I do like the straight threaded tubes with the nuts on there. I don't like the 90s right here. They're okay, but I prefer to just have straights, and I'll buy new tubes. I don't need to buy anybody else's rotten tubes. But, you know, weather beaten, rider quality tires is what I'm looking for. So, guys, I'm gonna call her quits for tonight. As I said, I'm cold, tired. Just want to go in the house and relax, warm back up. So, thank you guys for hanging out. Continue to watch this from one video to the next. If you just got in on this one, jump back and catch the other two videos on this 72. So just hit that like button, subscribe, share it, anything like that you want to do, just go ahead and do that, and just help show your interest and let me know, you know, leave some comments. So anyway, guys, this is it. Let's do this some other day and get a little more done with this and get further in depth with the things that I do on this and all that good business, yada yada yada. 73s from Hillsborough, Texas.